Hi everyone. I just wanted to say hi from Sisters of Psalms. And as you can see next to me, I have my son Michael. Michael, say hi.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about the importance of taking your kids to church. I have been taking Michael to church ever since he was a baby in my belly. And he's always loved to go. And I know sometimes people feel that kids being out in a church service is a huge distraction to other members. But I just want you to know that whenever you do not hear the sound of a child in church, that's a sign of your church dying, because kids are the future of the church. And that's why it's so important to teach kids about Jesus at such a young age, so that way when they get older, it'll already be in their heart to go to church, and for you to be that example for them. Um, Michael here helps out in church all the time. Why don't you tell everyone what you do at church?
So I do the offering and I help a lot with them and do things that they need help with.
What do you play during praise and worship?
I play the drums.
He does. He plays the drums in church, and everyone loves it. Everyone encourages him, including his biggest cheerleader, which is me. I always have been and I always will be. And there have been some Sundays when Michael has been sick. I'll say, okay, well, we'll just stay home from church today. And he'll say, no, Mama, like, I really want to go to church today. And so that always brings a joy, an unexplainable joy to my heart, to know that no matter how he's feeling, he always wants to go to church, and he always loves to help out in church. And a mother really can't ask for more. I think one of the most important things when we want our kids to be involved is to never force them. Because if you force them, they could build some kind of resentment towards going to church, especially for those kids who struggle wanting or trying to go in the first place. Because we have to think about ourselves. God never forces us to do anything. He never forces us into the ministry, whether it's a pastor or a deacon or whatever he calls us to do. He calls us. He doesn't force us. We all have an option whether to go against God or to do the will that he has for our lives. So I try never to force him to do anything when it comes to church. I try to let that to be his option. Right now, he doesn't have an option to go because he's going to church. And I love that a lot of the times he does always want to go. But I want him to have a servant's heart, because that's what God calls him to do, and not simply what Mama always tells me to do. He probably gets enough of that at home. He probably gets enough of that at home. But I just want to encourage parents today, no matter your situation, no matter how your life is going, how important it is to have God in your heart, and how it's more important to have God in your kids' hearts. We all know that the world is a dark, scary, and lonely place. And sometimes all we have is Jesus. And we just want our kids to know that whenever you're hurting or whenever you're feeling broken, one, you can always come to your mom or to your dad, but to always go to God first. I want Michael to know that no matter where he ends up in life, to always keep God first and to seek his will, not our will, not our friend's will, not the world's will, but to always seek God's will. And he'll tell you that he prays at night You pray? And he's going into the 7th grade. So I just want him to know that there are going to be different challenges that he's going to face. There's going to be so many things that he's going to be introduced to. We all know how tough middle school and those high school years can be. But I just want him to know that always seek God first and to seek his will and his promise. Anything else you want to say? You don't want to say how important church is to you? Go ahead and say.
So, church to me is important because little kids can learn from a young age, and then they want to keep going back. And then parents sometimes don't like to go. So that's why some churches have buses so kids can go.
Yes, a lot of kids do want to go to church, and their parents, won't take them, for whatever reason. There's always a way. And, there's also a Vacation Bible School for kids. I always loved going to Vacation Bible School when I was little. Michael has always been too shy to go by himself, but I had 9 siblings to go with. And so I just want to encourage everyone to get your babies into church and teach them about God. Because for your kids, you're the first Bible that they will read. Whether you know it or not, or whether you notice it or not, your kids are watching you. You're a big example to your kids. And I want my influence to be bigger than a TikTok influencer or a YouTube influencer in Michael's life. I want him to not only to follow me, but first to follow God. And then I pray that my heart is leading him to where God wants him to be, and that I am guiding him down that right path. And so I just want to say to take your babies to church. Following God is a decision that you will never regret, ever. You'll never regret doing what God wants you to do. So we just want to thank you for watching our video, and we would love for you to share it with maybe a parent that's struggling about not only going to church for themselves, but for their kids, because finding the right church family is super important. Super important. So don't go someplace where you feel comfortable. You're not supposed to feel comfortable in church. You're not supposed to. Don't go somewhere where all of your friends are going. Just ask God where he wants you to go for you and for your family. Thank you.